I've been privileged to work in both Nigeria and Canada, and I can tell you for free that the work culture is totally different. Today, I'll be sharing some of the differences that I've noticed between working in Nigeria versus Canada. Before I start, I want to put a quick disclaimer there that whatever I'm discussing today is solely based on my experience, and I'm not trying to shade Nigeria or Canada. First thing is the working hours. I've said this several times that I was working in the bank. We had an expected resumption time and we had an expected closing time, but we did not keep to that time, if you know what I mean. For example, I was meant to resume to work by 7:30 in the morning and close work, we close to customers by 4 p.m. You still be attending to them till like 4:30 p.m. or 5 p.m. sometimes. And before you finish everything, it's already 6:30 or even 7 p.m. At the end of the day, I'm working like 12 hours. But on our pay, it's only showing that you're working from 7:30 or 8 to 4 p.m. So I was surprised when I got here. And when they tell you you are working for 7 hours, 30 minutes, it's 7 hours, 30 minutes. On occasions where you even have to work overtime, you will be paid overtime. Yes, it might not be something that is that significant by the time you calculate the taxes, but any extra time is taken cognizance of, unlike when I was working back in Nigeria. Now to the job roles. See, I've learned a lot and I'm still learning regarding job roles. I would say we Nigerians, we are all rounders. We are rugged. When life gives us lemons, we make lemonades. Let me explain why I said so. I might say, oh, I'm working in the bank, I am an head customer service, just for example. At the end of the day, you can be doing like 6 in 1 job roles. But when you get here, you have to, it's like, it's one job role that is so narrow. When you are saying you are working here, even in your resume, that you are only working in that direction. I'll say something that someone told me. She was like, when she got to Canada, she was applying for jobs, and then she sat down one day and told herself that I have experiences in different places. Where do I want to channel my energy? So she was advising me to do the same thing, that we have worked in different sectors, but we did not really take cognizance of those roles. So the good thing about it is that we can blend in anywhere. So I will advise that if you're working in Nigeria and you want to move here, you have to sit down. Maybe one of these days I would have somewhere that people can reach out to me and we can discuss on how to make your resume to fit into the Canadian standard. Like in Nigeria, it may be something that you're not doing every day. It's not the core work you do. It might be something that you do like once a week or once a month and you're not even knowing that you're doing it. It's not even totally related to your job. Now to working from home. This one shocked me a bit. I've always been someone that has been working in the office. Even during the lockdown back in Nigeria, I was still working in the office. During COVID, working in the office. Pregnant, working in the office. Every time, always working in the office. Come rain, come shine. So when I moved here and I was applying for jobs, I was like, I cannot do remote jobs. So are you telling me that I'm not going to be seeing anyone face to face? And after a lot of thought, that was what I eventually went for. And I was wondering, how am I going to communicate with people? And then I found out that it's a Teams meeting that they use. We gather together, interact with one another, have chats where we talk verbally, video, audio. I know that recently lots of organizations are already clamoring for their employees to go back to the office for reasons best known to them, probably for community, for communication, for friendships and all. Like in my organization now, we have like the voluntary hybrid. You can decide to go to the office if you want to. And once in a while, we have get togethers where we can gather together, but it is majorly remote. Working remotely has its pros and cons. I will still try to make a video about it sometimes, but I will just say generally that now that I'm working remotely, I've been a little more reserved in terms of relationships. I've been more laid back because if not because I'm seeing my husband and my children, it means I'm not really seeing anybody, if you know what I mean. Now, to small talk and workplace culture. This one, it shocked me. You know, back in Nigeria, you can talk about going to wedding parties, owambe, birthday parties, naming ceremonies and all those kind of things. Here, it's a little different. I was shocked one day when we were gathered in a Teams meeting and people were talking about their pets, and it was so lively for them. I can remember when someone was talking about their dog. Initially, I didn't know they were talking about their dog until they said, so he fell and I put him in the boot. I was like, will you put human being in the boot? That was when it dawned on me that, wait, they are not talking about human being, they are talking about pets. Yes, I'm already getting adapted to it, but I used to be shocked that, wait, is it the same dog that we have in our house or the cat that used to run around in our compound? Is that the same thing that these people are getting so excited about? Or when they're talking about sports, yes, I know maybe the guys used to talk about soccer and all, but here they talk about hockey or they're talking about vacations. You know, when they talk about the vacations, they'll be saying, oh, I went to Italy, I went to Paris, and I'll be like, oh, I'm not going anywhere aside from this Canada that I came. One lady said something some weeks ago. She said that she noticed that we immigrants tend not to involve ourselves in small talk, that what could be the reason? And I told her that it's not like as if we don't want to involve in small talk, that but from experience, I'm not sure if you understand me in the first place or if I'm boring you. Because imagine I say something and you're smiling and I can sense it that that smile is not getting to your face. You're just smiling like in your mind, you're like, just keep quiet. I don't want to hear what you have to say. I told her that that's the reason that even the way I am, I'm not even sure of what to say to her. And she was like, no, bring it on. So she really made me feel seen and made me feel understood that no, that they also want us to talk. It's just that our kind of small talks, they're slightly different. Now to lunch break. It's another big one. When I was working in Nigeria then, there was no designated lunch break. See, I'm not saying that's the same way it is all over. Like I said, it's my experience. I have friends that they have designated lunch break, but probably because when I was in the bank, I was working in the branch. It's when the lunch comes that it comes. All of you cannot just get up at the same time. So today, I might eat by 1 p.m., tomorrow, 2 p.m., next tomorrow, I might not eat at all. But here, if you say it's 30 minutes break, it's 30 minutes break. If you say it's 1 hour break, it's 1 hour break. There was a time that my husband and I went to downtown and it happened to be a weekday. I think we went around that 1 p.m. My husband said, that there will be lots of traffic, that everyone is going out to get lunch. And in all sincerity, when we go to the mall, come and see people in their corporate outfits, their suits, their heels, everybody, you will see all those eateries, traffic everywhere, different cars trying to get lunch. That lunch is a big of a deal here. But back in Nigeria, it was more like of survival. You say, I'm coming. Let me quickly go and eat. Everybody will just say, I beg, hurry up. Why are you still here? How many hours are you using to eat? Don't you know that people are waiting for you? So that one also shocked me when I came to Canada. For attendance, from my experience, it was different as well. When I was working in Nigeria, in the morning, we had the book at the entrance where you write the time you arrived at work. The time you will write is your business. Some people, they know how it goes. Some people will write the time they got to office. Some people will write the wrong time. Some people will do whatever they want. The bottom line is that we were writing our names on a sheet of paper. But here, everything is monitored. There's nothing like, I got to work by 8, but I didn't sign in by 8:10. If you got to work by 8 and you did not sign in, that's your business. Even if you have ordinary technical difficulty, I can count the number of times that I won't be able to log on to my computer and I will be like, hey, have I been sacked? Probably because when I was working at the bank, it used to happen to a lot of people. They would just come to the office on this day, getting excited and all. They would just try to log on to be showing a correct password. They would try the first time, second time, third time, and then they will call the service desk and they'll be told that they've been sacked. Also, in cases when I have technical issues, I'm always a little nervous. Though they've told us that if you have technical issues, you can just send a mail to the scheduling team to let them know I had issues between this time and this time. But I guess it's just because I'm working from home. If I wasn't working from home, I'll be able to say, oh, do you have tech issues too? Oh, it's a general thing. Mental health is taken so seriously here. Back home, if you want to take permission from work, you cannot say, I want to take permission from work because I don't have the morale to work, because I'm depressed. For where? It's either, oh, I'm having a headache. Oh, my baby is running temperature. Oh, I have malaria. Oh, I have typhoid. But here, if you tell them that your mental health is having issues, it is classified that you are sick and you need a day off. In fact, there are some organizations that have special psychology benefits that they give because work-life balance is very important. I'm not saying that here it means that they are perfect, but mental health here is taken seriously in the workplace. It is as important as your physical health. Unlike my own experience back in Nigeria, where physical health was the priority and mental health was not really discussed. Also, for sick days where in Nigeria, I don't think I had any sick days aside from my vacation. If you call and say, I'm not coming to work today, if your child just has fever in the morning, you'll be nervous. Hey, my child is not feeling fine. Am I not going to call my boss and say, I'm not coming to work? Maybe I should just manage and go to work because they're going to give me query. But here, you already have designated number of days. Okay, some organizations, maybe 6 days, personal days, 12 days, aside from your normal vacation. So it actually shocked me when I got here. So sometimes when my children are not feeling fine, because most of my sick days they are taken for my children. Just imagine some weeks ago, my son was not feeling too well, and they called us from his daycare to come and pick him up. I was not really too scared that he wouldn't be able to go to the daycare the next day because I was like, okay, he won't be able to go. I can just take one sick off for family care from my organization. Now for health insurance, it works differently as well. I was so privileged when I was in Nigeria. I won't lie, I was so privileged because we had good health insurance, but the insurance is slightly different in the sense that there they had a list of hospitals that you could use. You could only use the hospitals that was designated. And see, let me tell you something. Using those hospitals, they have their pros and cons. Yes, when you pay out of pocket, you can submit for reimbursement and all. The process was so cumbersome. But here, insurance is taking that, okay, you have your health insurance as long as it's an eligible provider. Not necessarily that it must be one provider. They are not the ones choosing a provider for you. You are the one that is saying, okay, I want this provider. This provider is recognized. They have their provider ID and they are registered and recognized in this country or this province. So you can make use of them. So I would say insurance here is more straightforward. Yes, I understand. Back in Nigeria, when you see people working in the insurance sector, it used to be like, insurance. What are those people doing? Customer service or people that are service staff in the bank, they were the hot cake. But here, anyone that is working in the insurance industry, like the nitty-gritty of insurance, be it home insurance, auto insurance, health insurance, those people are making money. I'm not talking about normal customer service. I'm talking about the nitty-gritty of the insurance itself. They are making money. So they are the pillars in this country. So health insurance, it's a big deal here and it's taken very seriously. Also for diversity, the workplace here is more diverse than in Nigeria. But the truth is, maybe because I'm someone that likes being in my comfort zone, I kind of prefer what we had back in Nigeria than here. Now, you know, most of us, we we're working in the southwest, so most of us understood each other's languages. Yes, they will say vernacular is not allowed, but during your lunch break or when you close from work, you just jest. And sometimes there are some things that they are only sweet when you are speaking in your dialect. But here it is rich, but it also has its restrictions because English is not everybody's mother tongue. So this one is speaking English in your own dialect, speaking English in your own dialect. The thing is, it sometimes does not flow. It's like you want to say something that you know that it should be funny, but it's not funny because you are speaking of it because you are speaking it in English. I don't know if you can relate to what I'm saying. So here it is more diverse and it has its pros and cons, but we are winging it. Public holiday is also something I noticed. I even made a video talking about public holidays some months ago. So back in Nigeria, when any public holiday is announced, you know that everybody has public holiday. In fact, I can remember then they normally use one man, is he not Minister of Works or something? He will carry his two hands up like this, public holiday, you know it's time for celebration. And there are usually lots of holidays. All those holidays that they are two in one. If it is this holiday, 2 in 1, Easter, 2 days, Christmas, 2 days, Muslim holidays, 2 days, this and that, independence, lots of holidays. At the end of the day, when you add everything together, are we not going to be having more than 15 working days of public holiday back in Nigeria? But here, it's a little different because though we have public holidays, some of them, they are the discretion of your province or your employer. Some of them are compulsory holidays, while some of them are voluntary. For example, Easter period, the compulsory one is only one day. So your employer can decide to give you 1 or 2 days. There are some holidays that I'll be like, I'm having holiday. My husband will check he's not having holiday, and vice versa. And guess what? Whether the holiday is voluntary or compulsory, the daycare will close, the school will close, so both children will be at home with us. Imagine. But I think it's getting better because there are some holidays that we didn't get to celebrate last year in Canada and we are celebrating here. So cheers to more public holidays in Canada. These are just some of the differences that I noticed in my experience in working in Nigeria versus Canada. Like I said, everything is based on my experience and my experience alone. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more interesting videos. And if you think you have a particular topic you want me to shed more light on, don't worry, I'm very good with research and storytelling. You can just drop them in the comments. Thank you for watching and see you in my next video.